And the interesting thing about Tesla is like China really pursued getting Tesla in China. They gave them tax breaks. And like it was the Tesla factory was like the first wholly owned foreign company in China. Like usually there has to be like a majority share owner Chinese company.
So do you think that the Chinese Communist Party was like, you know what, we're just going to be really nice this time and just be benevolent?
They want the technology.
What you're saying that they wanted Tesla in China so that they could steal the electric car technology and then make their own Chinese electric vehicles and inundate the global market with cheaper versions in the future?
Yes.
Just a side note, those very green Teslas you're all driving to save the environment, most of those electric batteries are made by Chinese companies who power themselves with coal, ever-increasing amounts of coal, and get a lot of their resources from child slave mines in Africa. So,
yeah. Well, there are environmental problems with the batteries, that's for sure. But I think also it's like with electric cars, like it is good to have zero emissions in the cars, but they're not really zero emissions only because whatever you power the car with is where the emissions come. So if you're charging it on a nuclear power grid, then it's zero emissions, but it's a nuclear waste vehicle. If you're powering it with natural gas, then it's a very low pollution vehicle, but you're creating groundwater pollution where the fracking happens. If it's powered on a grid that's mainly hydropower, then it's zero emissions, but you're also like hurting the ecosystem of your local rivers. So like there's no way to have that totally clean power unless it's powered by solar and wind, which themselves have some issues. But even so, like there's no grid that is powered enough by those that everyone can charge everything on electric and solar. Like that's just not where the technology is. So like it's just my point is that while there's a lot of good ideas about electric vehicles, you have to look at the whole cycle of it.
In an effort to have my conversations in real life be more like Twitter, so you're saying you hate the environment and just want to pollute with oil, Matt? That's what you're saying?
No, I'm concerned about the environment.
Okay. So Elon Musk has Tesla factory in China.
Yes.
Technically, that factory only produces Teslas for the Chinese market.
Mm-hmm. Which is the second biggest market for Tesla.
Where their grid is largely powered by coal, just saying.
Yeah.
So...
But that was a good rant about the problems of green energy and stuff. I think that was.
Right. And I'm not opposed to green energy. I just think we should look at the whole picture. That'll get me blocked on Twitter, which is why I'm not on Twitter.
So I think Elon Musk is, on one hand, the question, right, is whether the Chinese Communist Party could use Tesla as leverage against Elon Musk on Twitter, right?
If Elon Musk actually succeeds in buying Twitter, will hypothetically the Chinese Communist Party be able to? There's just so many like.
There are. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to try something, because they do care about Twitter. I mean, they put their. I don't think Elon Musk would just go around blocking Chinese state-run media reporters from being on Twitter or whatever.
I hope he wouldn't. That's some of my best entertainment.
Global Times.
Global
tweets.
Times. Oh man, follow Global Times on Twitter. It's
yeah. So I especially like the one where what was the one this week where
about romance?
Oh yeah, they tweeted about how it was trying to be a positive story about the Shanghai lockdowns, and it was like you should have more romance and imagination, inspiration in your life to get through the lockdown.
And they didn't call it lockdown. They called it, what did they call it? It was some
strict,
unprecedented static management.
Static management, yes.
Like, where do you even come up?
Right. If you the way to solve the static management is to use dryer balls.
Yeah. Okay.
Takes the static out of.
I get it.
Like dryer sheets.
I also immediately got it.
Yeah. You just didn't think it was funny, which is
So China cares about Twitter. I'm sure it would love to be able to influence Twitter more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have also jailed people for saying things on Twitter.
Yeah, I remember there was a story of like a Chinese student who was studying in the U.S. and he did a tweet comparing Xi Jinping to one of the villains from Biker Mice of Mars. Put that side by side comparison up, and yeah, so they knew he did that, and he got thrown in jail for a couple of months when he went back to China, I think. So yeah, China cares about Twitter. There's also the army of like Chinese bots that will just spread Chinese propaganda, and that's something Twitter has been trying to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk, I believe, has said he will continue that. He didn't specifically say Chinese Twitter bots, but
I think he said spam bots.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think the question is, when the Chinese Communist Party tries to influence Elon Musk with respect to Twitter, what will Elon Musk's reaction be? And this is where the personality of every billionaire is different, right? Like, I think the personality of someone like Michael Bloomberg is to say, look, well, the business interests of my company, Bloomberg LP, selling terminals in China and getting Chinese data for global terminals is more important than Bloomberg News, which basically doesn't really make money. So, of course, like the calculation is make some adjustments to the news to maintain
I mean, we
the China
don't know
market.
that it went all the way up to Michael Bloomberg.
Yeah, but there was a New York Times report in 2013 that did claim that Bloomberg News was curtailing some of their China reporting. So anyway, the point is
No. That happened. I'm just saying that we don't know that it was Michael Bloomberg that made that call, right?
we don't know it was
Yeah.
him. But I'm saying that like you have a certain personality type that is willing to make those sacrifices. You have a certain personality type like Mark Zuckerberg who's willing to jog in the pollution in Beijing, to suck up to Xi Jinping. But what's Elon Musk's personality type? And that's my question. Like, is he going to be the person who just be like, yeah, I guess Twitter's not working out, like throw it away? Because it seems like he does weird, whimsical things. And so I feel like he's much more of a wild card.
He tried to give Americans flamethrowers.
This is not a defense of Elon Musk, and it's not at all a defense of his opening up a gigafactory for Teslas in China, which is stupid. Elon Musk, if you're watching this, that was stupid. But I don't know what he would do. You know what I mean? Like he could kind of do anything that are on this range of like he could make public what the Chinese Communist Party is doing to him and just make it into a joke on Twitter. Like he's just kind of like a weird wild card like that.
Well, and that's hopefully like whatever happens, there will be accountability on Twitter of people like paying attention and calling him out if he does do something that pressures, that gives into Chinese pressure.